Hi, I'm Jami Philbrick for iamROGUE.com. I'm here in Anaheim, California at WonderCon 2015, and I had a chance to talk to some of the cast and crew of the new horror film, Unfriended. Here's what they had to say about the new movie. You obviously were involved in paranormal activity and in some ways helped invent the found footage genre.
I love that.
It is. Now, do you think that this could be the beginning of the computer screen footage genre of films?
I hope so. I think it'd be cool. I really feel like we got to give Blair Witch for inventing found footage. I'll give that to Blair Witch. But
you guys took it to another level that they weren't able to.
That's right. But they started it. Whether you have them to blame if you don't like it. But yeah, I hope that Unfriended that you could tell all different kinds of stories, never leaving a computer. That's how we get so much information now, and we get true narratives from our friends. So I think it would be a really cool thing to do, to tell all different stories using that format.
What definitely drew me to this project in the first place was how unique the idea was. To have a movie take place on a desktop was just incredible. It seemed like a challenge. I'd never seen anything like it, and a big part of me didn't believe that it was possible until we were actually doing it. So getting the script was definitely a challenge, and it wasn't. I didn't really think it was possible until we started working with the cast.
I was so game. Don't get me wrong, I love being in person with my actors, but this was just something new and exciting, and I never questioned it. And I pride myself for that, because it was weird. I mean, we got to set, we were like, what are we doing? But it was a learning process, and it was trial and error every single day. And I think what Nelson and Leo and Timur created is just brilliant.
The concept was so cool, and I feel like we all jumped on board. We thought it was so relevant, especially this generation. Everything's digital, so it's so cool. It's so cool to get, to show a film through a platform that we've never seen before.
I think that was honestly the most attractive thing about it. It was just like a conceptual adventure that, as an actor or a performer, that it's hard not to be attracted to something like that, like an opportunity to just kind of let loose and do whatever you want and like create a character, bring it in and see where it fits with these like other people, you know what I mean? So it was like very tantalizing bait as an actor to do something like that.
I mean, even the audition process was done on a computer. So they literally handed me a laptop, had me sit on a couch by myself and look into the computer and deliver all the dialogue. So from the get-go, I knew what I was getting into, but I don't think I knew what the response was going to be. I mean, people have really responded to this. They've really run with it and really campaigned for us. I think people are really excited about it.
What was the actual process? I mean, you guys were your own DPs in a sense, right?
Yeah, there was a lot more work put on the actor than there would regularly be in a film set, and especially because there's no template. Like, there's nothing else that's like this, so there was no way to like, oh, we compare it to this, just work like that. So we were our own DPs on set, framing and lighting, sometimes taking care of some of the sound equipment, and so much of the movie is heavily improvised. So we would just have a general story point and then improvise within that story point. So we're writing, we're DPs, and we're acting all at once. And it was an interesting process even from the beginning of this film, because we started the audition in the Skype mode. So we show up to the same casting office, and then in one room, Shelley would be in one room and I'd be in the other, and we did the opening scene. That was our essentially our audition, just via Skype. You could kind of hear her through the room, but everything, I basically got to know Shelley just through Skype and through the computer.
It was amazing that they allowed us to play so much, and I was so thankful that I was working with people who were such great improvisers and who knew their characters very well. Don't get me wrong, first few days of shooting, we were all confused about who we were, what we were supposed to do, and sometimes we get there and they sort of change our characters. And I know Jacob would make a joke. He'd say, which Ken am I today? Ken 2.0 or 3.0? And it was so true, because we were learning, and it was amazing to see. But by day, I want to say by day 3, it was just, we knew what we wanted. They knew what was working. Timur would look at the dailies every night, come back, and we'd reshoot. And like I said, it was trial and error, and I am so proud of this project. Nothing has ever been done like this before.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's different than anything. Usually every time I'm acting, I have human beings around me, so to just be able to see them on a computer screen is a totally different experience. But yeah, it was I guess, easier at times in a way, and it was also harder at times for a way, and for different reasons. But it was totally a different experience, but it was definitely something really enjoyable.
Super strange, but once you kind of get in the throes of it and figure out, like, I'm framing my own shots, I'm interacting with these people that are doing the same thing, so it's like we're all in the same boat, so we understand, like, as a cast, like, the technicalities that are involved. And then once you got past that, it was literally just we're all sitting in a room being these people on Skype. So it was kind of nice that we weren't together because it made that element feel much more real.
I mean, first of all, we all shot it in one house, so we ran out of bedrooms after a while, so I'm in the laundry room the whole time, which is kind of weird. We've got one character out in the garage. We just had to, like, insulate ourselves and pretend that the others weren't in the same house, even though we can kind of hear them through the walls a little bit. But in terms of filming it that way, having, like, the headphones in the whole time, you can hear the other actors, but you can also hear the director, like, giving live updates, like, play it this way, say this, start a fight, you know, these, like, little, like, kernels of information they could give us that they weren't giving someone else that we could kind of play with. It's never been done before, and I'm really sad that I won't get to make another film just like this.
You have created many franchises. Do you see franchise potential in a project like this?
I do. I really do. There's so many Unfriendeds, so many stories I would love to tell, and stories we've talked about Timor with. So I hope we get to make a second one.